bucking the trend is AMD. And the trend meaning just Intel.
Well, the trend is sort of the rest of the industry too. I was
Yeah.
just reading up Nintendo missed their forecast as well, decline in sales. But yeah, AMD rocking and rolling.
Yeah. It feels like, and I think they even just said this, we're just basically eating Intel's lunch and just grabbing more of
You're
that market.
paraphrasing the quote from Dr. Lisa Su.
Yes. Just,
Here's the notable thing about AMD. They have 4 or 5, I don't remember, core business units. Every single one of them had double-digit revenue growth year over year. Every one of them. Like even Apple, only the iPhone and services grew, but services grew at a rate that was less than half what it had grown the previous 3 quarters, and they actually lost subscribers quarter over quarter. Every company has had like this asterisk, including the heavyweights,
yeah.
Amazon, Apple, whatever. AMD is just like, no, just queue up. We are the champions. We're going to have a little party here. So that's what they're doing. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's good for AMD, I think is the.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's, to be fair, it's still a much smaller business than Intel, obviously. And Intel is making a big bet on the future, of course. And we'll see how that pans out. But it's either going to be the Titanic or the one that made it.
I don't think Intel's going to be a Titanic.
Well, I mean, they could fail. I mean, they could spend, hundreds of billions of dollars building chip fab and never catch up. I mean, they still, they just had a recent deal, their first deal, right, with who was it? That part of MediaTek.
Yeah.
And Intel's version of this press release makes it look like a, major success. But then you go talk to MediaTek and they're like, yeah, I mean, we're still using TMSC for the important stuff. Like we use them for what I didn't remember the term they used, but it was almost like legacy chips. Like the chips that are past their prime, we can make those with Intel because their manufacturing process is not as technically futuristic or whatever the term is. But so they're trying to get there.
Yeah.
Ford is trying to make electric cars. They're trying.
Yeah. Which, by the way, not that everyone should buy a Tesla or whatever. I don't believe that. But the challenge right now is, and I've known this from a couple different people, go try to buy an electric car that's not a Tesla. It's not that they don't exist. It's that there's no volume. Like there's no meaningful volume to satisfy demand. And so,
Tesla is like the Apple of that market in a way. They're not the biggest car maker, but in the electric space, they get first dibs on components. I would imagine is what's happening. So
they're the only ones who have mass
capacity.
Volume. I mean, yes, there's the Ford Lightning. Go try to buy a Hyundai Ioniq 5, which looks really cool. Good luck. Like the car was delayed, I think, unofficially. They don't like to talk about it because I know somebody who was trying to buy one. It was like unofficially delayed for about a year, and there's still really no word on if you put an order in when you're getting it. And so they exist, like Bolt EV. If you want one of the Chevy ones, I think you might be able to get. But again, it's the volume. Like the Ford Lightning truck looks amazing. But
does anyone really feel bad for the car industry? I mean,
no.
This is was it Chevy that had like the electric car 25 years ago?
Yeah, the EV1.
Yeah, they were like, let's just kill it.
Yeah,
we'll leave them all sitting in a parking lot in Detroit somewhere.
Yeah, that's pretty much only leased them out, and then
stupid.
Yeah, this is
a lot of self-inflicted wound there.
Whatever. If you've been saying I'm not using Android on Windows because it doesn't have gamepad support, your ship has come in.
Right. So if you want to play those crap games that are there, you can do now. You can do it now with a game. Well, actually, you have to be in the dev channel or something. It's not even. So it's coming. These are not the improvements we're looking for in the Android subsystem, are they?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a new build in the beta channel for Windows 11 users.
Yeah, nothing new there.
It's not a whole lot. But the other fun one was if you used Uber, the receipts were crashing Outlook, but Microsoft has now fixed whatever was causing that.
It's not why I don't use Outlook.
It's not why you do use it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Outlook Lite will fix all those problems or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I still use Outlook on my phone, and I'm still tempted just to go back to the basic mail app from Apple. It's
right. Here's the thing. So I just did this. So I use Gmail
Mm-hmm.
primarily. I switched to Apple Mail on iPhone because it respects the built-in font size choices,
Mm-hmm.
and Gmail does not. It like the font in Gmail is tiny. But one of the problems with Gmail or Mail is that it doesn't deliver mail until you check for it. So I actually later found out that it doesn't support push on Gmail. It only does fetch. So that means you'll never be up to date. Like you have to go into the app and then it'll be like, oh, checking for mail. I mean, you can do it
Mm-hmm.
manually. Um, and then someone gave me a tip that there are accessibility settings in the iPhone where on an app by app basis, you can actually change font sizes.
Hmm.
I had to push it all the way to the top to get it to look normal. It's not huge. It's just, because Gmail is so poorly written. And then what I discovered later on is it allowed me to go back to Gmail. But if you do something like, I'm trying to think what causes, like maybe you press and hold on something, it pops up a menu. That menu, because it comes from the system, is humongous. And like I have vision problems or something. So I don't remember how Outlook handled this, but one of the issues I had with Outlook was that it's like everything in one app.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of liked having stuff separate. But the truth is, like Gmail actually has Meet and probably some other thing in there. I don't know whatever's on the bottom. I don't even pay attention to it. So it's unclear why that UI, which is exactly the same, is okay for me on Gmail, but not for Outlook. Anyway, long story short, just look at whatever email you're using and make sure you can do push because it might not be worth going to mail if it's fetch.
Meet, push, fetch.
Yep. If you need
Yeah,
a
so
summary of this conversation.
I don't use Gmail. I don't get all anymore because
So
my
what's your
personal
primary
is Outlook,
Outlook?
and Stardock
Well,
is Office 365.
yep. So you should look at how it handles what they'll probably call Exchange slash
Yeah.
Office 365 and then Hotmail accounts. If it's push, there's no reason not to use mail.
Yeah.
It does. I honestly, it's the best looking, best functional, if that makes sense, email app on iPhone, other than that fetch thing on Gmail, which is like, what? It doesn't make any sense, but.
Yep. And I'll be the best looking person here after I get my hair cut tomorrow.
Oh.